question for Darren. You know, we've all heard the numbers that a huge percentage of the people would rather work with their financial advisor on their funeral planning and not wait till the very end. But they're just numbers. What I'd like to ask you, Darren, is you don't deal with the numbers. You deal with actual loved ones who come in during these situations.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've done both funeral director and involved at the funeral trust. What in the bottom line is, why is it better to do it now versus later when you're, you know, whether it's the spouse or the children,
right,
you know,
right,
in different situations?
That's a great question, because we were talking earlier. I still do a lot of pre-planning with funeral homes, and we use the funeral trust in there. I would say that 90% of it is crisis planning. That means that the mom or dad or whoever is going into a nursing home and they're told to go to the funeral home now and get this done. And I meet with them and try to help them sort out all the details, get that trust done for them. And many of them will say to me, gosh, I wish we would have been able to do this years ago and not have to worry about it. But they didn't want to do it because it meant going to a funeral home. And I always tell them, you don't have to do that now. We have funeral trust agents throughout the country who can do it. So that's why, so when that crisis planning comes about later in life, and you as a financial planner have helped those families with it already, and they don't have to worry about it, that is a wonderful thing, a wonderful tool for you to use. Say, as Mike says, 93% of people don't have long-term care, and that Medicaid planning is huge. And I see it at the funeral home. People calling me every day, just about every day, saying we need to come in and do this planning because the nursing home says they're running out of money. And again, they if this was done years ago, this would have been something that the families don't have to worry about, and it'll make the agents look really good, thinking, wow, thank you for thinking about that. In fact, Time Magazine had an article about Medicaid last year. Last year went up 6%. This year it's supposed to be up 12%. As the market's going down, people are running out of money, long-term care is going up. So doing this planning when someone's 65 will just help them save, protect their assets in case this becomes an issue later in life. Because one of the worst things that could happen is a family runs out of money before they put money into a funeral trust, because I've had people have that happen, where no one told them that they can shelter money into a funeral trust for funeral expense, and then the family's paying out of pocket, and that's really bad because some families don't have those assets. So, so it's really important as an advisor to think ahead for the families, because they're counting on you to do that and tell them about those issues about long-term care, right, protecting assets, and now they don't have to go to a funeral home to do it, and that'll relieve them. And they're even telling us in surveys that that's what they want to do. So, so it's very important that we do that, because that critical crisis planning is very difficult, very difficult.
Well, it does sound like it, Darren, and it also brings up a good point that I think every financial advisor out there knows, is that you also want to have that bridge between your clients and their beneficiaries, because we all know that as advisors, that your clients may pass on, and then you don't work with the children because you've never built a relationship. This is a wonderful way to have a relationship with the children and the beneficiaries of your clients.
Absolutely. Before
the fact, and then, you know, to be able to deal with their 401ks and their other assets, their real estate and their other investments. So I think it goes into the whole overall thing of what we all should be doing as financial advisors.